On March 23rd, Kittitas County's mask directive went into effect to protect the most vulnerable people in the community. The Barrett visits were actually inspired by the Madeline Finn book and the library dog, and it's also Barrett's favorite book. Right, Barrett? The river doesn't normally run this close, but due to recent flooding, the river now runs through Abornick's backyard. Since the contract is valid for a couple more years, it is up to the next sheriff of Kittitas County to decide whether they would like to keep the contract or to end it. President Gaudino said every option from staying online to returning to normal had been explored. However, this plan will allow the university to stay flexible in changing conditions. How you doing?
I'm doing good. That is one of my favorite sitcoms ever.
Me too. It's a shame they're taking it off Netflix at the end of the year. Local restaurants are making it easier to get more food for a better deal. Restaurant Month is here, and Tamara Saval has all the details. In addition to studying cases and going to competitions, what else does Mock Trial Club do? This is Barrett. He may look like an ordinary dog, but he's much more. Barrett's a therapy dog who listens while kids read to him.
So you were telling me about reading to somebody at school and comparing it to reading to Barrett. And what did you say that the kid at school did that Barrett did?
He hit me on the head.
He hit you on the head?
Does Barrett do that?
No.
Some of the places Barrett visits include Valley View Elementary and the Ellensburg Public Library. He also makes appearances at the Pause and Relax events at Central.
Like he's not just a fun pet. Like there's research to support the therapy dog idea in classrooms, and there was work to put into it.
Reading to Barrett helps students build confidence in their reading skills. It also increases the kids' willingness to read.
What? They don't want to go to recess? They'd rather read with a dog? Yes, they would rather read with a dog than go to recess.
The Barrett visits were actually inspired by the Madeline Finn book and the library dog, and it's also Barrett's favorite book. Right, Barrett? While no one knows what Barrett thinks, he seems to enjoy it.
He kind of just wants, I feel like he just kind of wants to listen.
Katie wants to get Barrett more involved at Valley View, but because she also has a class to teach, it can be challenging. She's had trouble getting substitutes to teach her class while she takes Barrett to other classrooms. Due to this, Barrett isn't able to visit that often. Regardless of him not being at the school or library all the time, kids appreciate the time they do get with him. From the Ellensburg Public Library, Jessica Perez, Central News Watch.
Thank you for your ice cream.
On March 23rd, Kittitas County's mask directive went into effect to protect the most vulnerable people in the community.
The reason that we decided to do the directive, which is a stronger ask, it's not a requirement, but we know that that's an effective tool against the spread of COVID-19.
The directive was issued by local health officer Dr. Mark Larson. It states, all individuals at indoor or confined public settings must wear face coverings over their noses and mouths if they are likely to be in contact with another individual who does not share their household. Cloth masks should be used properly, meaning they cover both the nose and mouth in order to avoid spreading germs to others.
Any kind of droplet that I'm putting out, if I have a mask over it, those droplets are staying with me. It doesn't mean that droplets aren't coming towards me. So it's not protecting me from others, it's me keeping my germs to myself.
There are some exceptions to the directive. Any child under 2 does not have to wear a mask. Children under 12, unless caregivers supervise the use to avoid misuse, individuals with physical disabilities that prevent easily wearing or removing masks, individuals who are deaf and use or read facial expressions to communicate, anyone advised by a medical professional that wearing a mask may pose a risk to their health, and individuals who have trouble breathing.
I want to remind the public is that if they see someone that's not wearing a mask, don't necessarily assume that they're choosing not to. That actually might not be something that that person is capable of doing.
Knutson recommends going to stores with adequate safety regulations, such as the requirement to wear a mask. However, she also wants to remind everyone this is not a requirement, but a very strong ask. From Auburn, Jessica Perez, Central News Watch. Ellensburg CrossFit hosted a workout session and silent auction to honor Deputy Ryan Thompson's memory and help raise money for his family.
There's a handful of members that worked with Deputy Thompson and that were really close personal friends with him. And we wanted to do something for them to remember him by, and also
The workout consisted of an 800-meter run, 5 rope climbs, 400-meter dash, 20 man makers, another 400-meter dash, 40 pull-ups, and an 800-meter dash to finish up.
It was hard. The last 800, you just start thinking about the family just to keep you moving and not stopping. It's hard because it's hard what they're going through, and this is nothing compared to their pain.
Law enforcement and fire rescue officers from all over the county participated in the workout session and contributed to the silent auction to support Thompson's family. Many worked closely with him and not only remember him as an officer, but as a friend.
At Thompson time, and you could always count on him just being a little bit late to everything, but it was not called late, it was called Thompson time. We run it on Thompson time.
Benito Chavez, the officer who was with Deputy Ryan Thompson the night of the shootout, also made an appearance. He did not participate in the workout session because he continues to recover from the leg injury he sustained during the shootout. The large turnout of officers and community members at this event, almost 2 months after his death, shows how much of an impact Thompson had on his community. At Ellensburg CrossFit, Jessica Perez, Central News Watch.